Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Recommendations from the Couch. This week, my staff gave me a hard time because I bought a book with a rather unique title, and so I got to thinking, do you ever just read a book because of the title? I know I always pick books just because of the cover, but do you ever pick a book just because of the title? So tonight we're going to look at some lighthearted and some not so lighthearted titles that are compelling and maybe would make you pull it off the shelf for something that you might never have thought of before. So we're going to start with the one that got me into this. It's called In Case You Get Hit by a Bus, How to Organize Your Life Now and for When You're Not Around Later, by Abby Schneiderman and Adam Seifer, founders of a business called Everplans. This book is really actually good. I did actually read it, and there was some really meaningful, there's some great charts, there's some great pictures, it's not all just words, and some rather funny things about things you need to think about in case you get hit by a bus. The one that struck home for me was the section on not passwords to bills and life insurances, but passwords to your social media life, and how often I just use change password every time I log in, and so no one really knows the password. Often I don't even know the password. Anyway, it kind of tells you how to get your life together in case you get hit by a bus. Now, Lisa Scottillini is one of my favorite nonfiction writers. I'm not a big fan of her fiction. A lot of people are. Her books have great titles. Why My Third Husband Will Be a Dog, followed by with I've Got Sand in All the Wrong Places. She is a hilarious columnist in her day job and writes for the Philadelphia Inquirer, and these are compilations of her articles that show up in the Philadelphia Inquirer. She often writes along with her daughter, and so they're mother-daughter back-to-back articles. Always funny if you just need something light that's not long. Another funny one, of course, is Justin Halpern, who started with The Shit My Dad Says, followed by I Suck at Girls. Again, short, hilarious, laugh out loud. Just makes you realize that everybody's really normal, even though we all feel like we aren't. Now, Mary Roach is a little different. I love her books, and again, you know I'm not a nonfiction person. This one's called Stiff, The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers. She writes the most well-researched, entertaining books about odd things that don't sound all that interesting. This book literally is all about cadavers, and it's really, really good. I will tell you that I really liked this book in a weird sort of way, but Stiff, a good title. Now, this one is near and dear to my heart for those of you that know me. The title is Kill, Reply, All, A Modern Guide to Online Etiquette from Social Media to Work to Love by Victoria Turk. Reply All is the bane of my existence. So any book that starts with Kill, Reply All and has a beautiful cover, how can you go wrong? Willie Nelson, you can get us some biographies. Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die, Musings from the Road. Just says right there all you already knew about Willie Nelson. And again, funny, hilarious, just stories he's told from the road, but roll me up and smoke me when I'm done, he says. And of course, the little more recent ones are Chelsea Handler. Life Will Be the Death of Me, and You Too. Again, she is just a best-selling author who is an online presence and just writes just funny life stories. Again, sometimes it's just good to read something that's funny, that's so close to true to you, but when you see it from someone else's eyes, it gives it a whole new perspective. So tell me in the comments, have you ever read a book based on just the title? And was it worth it? Until next week, I hope everyone has a great one. The weather's supposed to be a little warmer. The library's open. We're gearing up for our expansion. So if you have any questions about it, stop by and see us.